Boy, do I love the view of a flat world. Yep, it's beautiful. Especially the sight of an empty house like this. Ooh, beautiful. Oh, hi there. I keep getting distracted in my intros now. Welcome back to another episode of Build With Me. Today we are building We are building a mythical treehouse requested. It's becoming an occurrence, and I forgot to look who made it. I know who made it, or who requested this at the beginning of today, but at this point I've forgotten. Give me a few minutes. And of course, there's just a quick restart for my phone. Great timing, right? Yeah. Anyways, this little intermission should be quick, right?
Before we continue this episode, I want to say that I got myself a new PC, and hopefully my episodes should be able to be much cleaner from now on. I also got myself a nice mic to hopefully sound better than I did before. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and let's get back to the video.
Okay, I found out who requested this build, and it was, I don't know how I forgot that, but anyways, thank you for the request, This was really fun to build, and I really did enjoy myself. I spent, like I said, I don't know if I said this or not. Actually, no, I didn't say anything about this. Shoot, that was my outro.
The amount of mistakes I made during this intro actually amazes me, and that's saying something.
Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed this build quite a bit. It was really fun to do more organics because, well, as we can see in my background, I love doing organics. Don't mind my missing back. That's for another day. But yeah, we have ourselves a nice big sakura tree with a moon and a sun being held up by whatnot. We got a bit of corruption because, of course, why not? If we're thinking mythical, of course there's some sort of corruption, right? Yeah, definitely. I forgot to fix that block right there. One moment. Oh, and this block too. Actually, you know I can do that. Ooh, even better. Look at that. Intro improvements. But yeah, here we go. I'll just skip straight to the time lapse now, and good luck, y'all. Have fun. Yeah, there's nothing more I could say.
Okay, so while I'm editing this right now, I'm actually playing this on really high speed. If we listen in the background, this is Minecraft music. Sounds pretty good. I should get back on track. Yeah, so for the mythical tree, we decided, at least I don't know. I decided that I would go for, I guess, rotary roots. I don't know if that's the right word. Well, I want some spiral roots. That's what I want. Because I feel like that's mythical, and I think it looks pretty cool. First off, of course, I had to start off with a big circle to get an idea of what I want the base of the tree to look like. And then I started working on that circle from there and started making the spirals, and then that changed the shape of the circle into a... I don't know how to explain it. It's a strange shape. And of course, as you can see in my inventory, I'm using 5 different wood types. Well, 4 technically. I use the muddy mangrove roots as the base of the build because I don't know, something about it makes it look a lot darker than most blocks. I think it's probably due to the mud and the brown, so that's what makes it darker than most of the other woods. I of course used spruce as a, well, I want to say I used it as a bit of a shader, but I also kind of mixed it in sporadically to see how that would work. I think it worked pretty well. As for the other blocks, like the mangrove wood and the stripped spruce, they go together well. They go well together, is what I should be saying, actually. And they add for a nice little, I don't know, like a lighter tone or a better base tone. That's similar to what I used the dark oak wood for. Dark oak is also a very, I don't know, it's a nice color to me. It fits for the tree, and then it also fit for a lot of the branches I built throughout this build. The build itself took me quite a long time. So as I mentioned in my previous episode, it is very important to take breaks throughout this. I actually took, I want to say, 2 breaks in between doing this, and I think I worked on this for a total of about 4 to 5 hours. And yeah, during those breaks I actually managed to come up with different ideas for what I could do throughout the build, and of course I tried to implement them. It's also important to take breaks so you can make sure you don't get burned out from the build. Because if I did not do it, I definitely would have gotten burned out, and this tree would not have turned out the way it did. I think the build turned out the way I kind of wanted it to, sort of. I think if I really worked on it a little bit more, I probably would have made it taller and more bushier. Now I'm working on the branches, and as you can see, I'm just focusing on getting a shape. I don't care about what the branches look like yet. Uh-oh. Never mind. This is one singular branch. And then I'm working on the branches. The reason I'm adding the singular branch was so I could see if that was the right height for the tree, but then I realized it wasn't, so I decided to go up more. And this is about where I think I started taking my break. Somewhere around here. There should be a cut somewhere soon. Or actually, no, there wouldn't be. Because I think I ended up actually just completely leaving my computer alone. And I just stopped recording and started re-recording again. So there shouldn't have been any movement. I think now I'm just working on getting some general basic shapes. Started working on some more branches. Then realized, okay, let's start working up higher. Let's get more branches in, and yeah. What else can I say about this? The branches, they are very sporadic, kinda. Most trees have... Oh, actually, I want to say all trees. The leaves do not grow from the entire branch. They grow from only certain parts, mainly the ends of the branches, which is why I'm building a ton of those. Those are where the bushes of leaves will go, and yeah, here we go with more branch outlines. After I finish the branch outlines, then I go back to work on the actual thickness of the branches, make them the way I want them, add extra branches. Yep. Now this is where I probably would have taken a break. Yep. Somewhere around here. If you look in the center of this build, there's a flat area. I decided I didn't like that, and that's when I realized, okay, let's go taller. That's, again, due to the break. Take breaks as often as you can, and you might come up with new ideas. Let's see. I don't really know what else to say about this besides the fact that when you're making your branches, make sure that they don't all come out of like the same... I don't know how to explain it. They don't come out all at the same area. If you want to make your tree look realistic, have some branches come out from the base of the branch, a lot at the ends of the branch, stuff like that. It helps to add a little bit of the bushiness feel that most people try to get with trying to cover the whole branch with leaves. You also got to make sure that the end, like the actual base of the branch, is thicker than the end of the branch. Otherwise, it might look a little interesting. Unless you're going for that effect, I would recommend just making sure that it goes from thick to thin, like the way I'm doing it here, or even having parts of your branch branch out. No pun intended there. Yeah. Here, I think I'm working on a bigger stump now. Yep. Yes. I was trying to figure out how to make it so that my tree actually started going upward towards a new area so I can start planting more branches. I did have a little bit of difficulty figuring out the actual shape of the branch, but I figured it out eventually. It takes a little bit of trial and error, but you can get it done. Also, along the branches, make sure you have some pieces going up, or some smaller branches branching off the bigger branch, going upward, backward, I don't know. It helps to add a little bit more of the randomness that you see in nature. Add some of that organic look. Oh, here we go. Now we're working on some of the bushes. Well, I should say leaves, but yeah. For the leaves, I use a mix of concrete, pink concrete, pink wool, pink concrete powder, pink glass, and pink terracotta. The reason I'm not using only one singular pink color is because if I use all pink concrete, then the tree would look, I don't know, it would look very cartoonish. I'm aiming for realism, so I added a little bit of a splash of color, using a lighter color of a pink wool. Pink wool is a lot lighter than pink concrete, and thus, I don't know, it gives it the fluffy shape, or fluffy feel. That's the same idea that I have with the pink concrete powder and the glass. The glass is vital to this entire thing. And that is because the pink glass makes it so that, I don't know, it has more definition, it's lighter, feels more realistic, and it feels like a sakura tree. And, as you can see, as I took a step back a little bit ago, when I left only the pink concrete on certain parts of the tips, it looks kind of like a blossoming branch. And I decided to add one at the bottom to make it a little bit more interesting. Let's see, the pink the pink glazed terracotta, that was just kind of to add a little bit more lightness into it because it has a lot of white. So it helps brighten the leaves. What else do I do here? This whole process right here took me most of an hour. This is the part that took me the longest and I felt the worst about because a lot of it was me doing it randomly because I didn't have the energy to actually sit there and place every block while thinking about it. At least that's the way I would recommend doing it in creative, at least, since you don't have to worry about running out of resources. Plus it's easier to move around, which is the whole thing I like about creative. In survival, I doubt I would ever build a tree as big as this, because I know how annoying it would be to place all of these leaves. Besides that, I did experiment a little bit by using with glass panes. That was to help add a little bit more shape to the bushes of leaves, and I did enjoy it. But the only issue was that it takes a lot longer to add the panes to the rest of the branch itself, that I decided it wasn't worth it. So I would just show off one, and then if y'all want to do it, you can just go ahead and do it as well. Even without the hanging vines, though, I think it still looks pretty good. What else do I do? Ah, look at me go. I'm starting to add a little bit of the corruption. This was a suggestion by my friend Tommy, and I did enjoy it, because this helped add to the mystique of the build. I used the, crying obsidian. And crying obsidian it emits a little bit of light. And I think that's what allows this build to look so, I don't know, mythical. I also used the, what is this, the ochre? Pearlescent? Pearlescent frog? I don't know, these frog lights. To help add a little bit of emphasis to the build, and I enjoyed it. Now the part I hate most, placing bone meal. However, in this situation, I think with the soccer tree, all of these flowers actually work with it. Here I was actually planning on adding a house in the shape of a moon, but then I realized, oh, this area is not big enough for a house, so I just decided to roll with it and make a bit of a decoration using a moon. And then I decided to make it a little bit more interesting by maybe adding a house in the center, but then I realized once again, not enough room, so I just made it a sun. So this is where the house is going to be, off to the side. It's a treehouse after all. Yeah, I didn't like my house as much. I kind of focused on the tree aspect more than the house part, but I think it works. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Adding a little bit of a bridge, fixing up the house a little bit, and that's pretty much it.
Alright then, so that took us a huge amount of time. But, as I'm pretty sure I'm going to say in the intro, after getting a new PC, I wanted to test out just like how well I could build on it, you know? Not that it really changes much, so I spent a little bit of I spent a good amount of time on this, yeah. Let's see, that last part of the time-lapse should have been around 2 hours long. Then there's two other 2-hour pieces. So, in total, this build took us about 4 to 5 hours, at least. It definitely I could have definitely spent a lot more time on this if I added more branches, added more to the house itself, and, I don't know, made it more detailed overall. Yeah, I really did enjoy this build. I love the way the spirals turned out in the roots. That made it feel very mythical to me. And, of course, thank you to my friend who came up with a suggestion of, like, a bit of corruption in the tree itself, because I think that turned out pretty well. I love the glowing effect of the crying obsidian. Somehow it just, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the crying obsidian, but suddenly I'm loving this block a lot more than I did before. I also have to say that these branches killed me. I actually started getting annoyed with building these after a certain period of time. Thus the amount of times I actually had to take breaks, and, you know, yeah, yeah. After that, I realized I would not do the glass panes anymore, because that would be well, no pun intended, but a pain. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the build. I certainly did, especially with, like, these, this little piece right here. This was not intended, but, I like it. I think it fits with this build. It's super sized compared to the rest of the build, but I think it works. Originally, that was going to be like a hanging house or something. I was going to make it like a moon shape or whatever, but it didn't end up turning out proper, so I just ended up making a bit of a decoration. So why not? But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my content, or well, if you like the build in general, hit the like button. I spent a good amount of time on this, and I plan on making more things like it. If you like my content in general, hit the subscribe button because, well, like I said, I do a lot of stuff like this, and I plan on doing more. And of course, make sure you leave some suggestions of what I should build next. I think I said that really fast. I think I did, yeah. Let me just repeat that one more time. Leave some suggestions for what I should build next, and I should get to it when I can. Yep. And of course, if you want to know exactly when I post a build so you can be one of the first people to watch my episode, or, you know, see what content I come up with, hit the little bell. Yeah, you'll be notified straight away when I post, and, yeah, that'll make me happy, right? Okay, anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one.